And with great pleasure I introduce the ALLHone Skoner. So we've been at this project for a good 6 months designing, and it's been a learning experience for myself, but it's a blade that I've had in mind for years now, and it's come to fruition. We import and sell knives, so I've had a lot of experience with other brands and steels and that kind of thing, and I've incorporated it all into this good value, anyone could buy it sort of knife. It is only a little bit more expensive than a Mercator, but you get more knife than a Mercator. Not saying that Mercator is not a bad knife, it's a great knife. It's for you Mercator lovers out there, I don't want to offend anybody, but anyway, we'll get into it. So first to open it, so we have got a sort of a thumb slot, or a nail slot they call, but it's more like a thumb slot. So you basically get the end of your thumb and put it into the slot here, and then have it sort of held like this, and then lift up to open it up. So there's also the other method, which is a flick opening. So what we did was we slightly extended the crossbar here, and it's rounded for comfort, but before they were a lot shorter and it was harder to grip, so it's a lot easier to grip it and you flick it open like that. So that's the other way of doing it. So you've got the two methods to open it. So let's have a look at the blade. Right, so first of all, it's got this extended jimping here, or thumb grip, so you can reach all the way out here and get a good grip on it. It's curved here, and then this is raised by 1.5 millimeters, so that gives you a bit more maneuverability when you're operating like that, when you're butchering, that sort of thing. Now the Loveless design is a drop point, and that became famous in the mid 20th century. And a drop point is when the point, instead of being a clip point, which is up high like this, it is rounded and or curved and gone down. We've curved that more, sort of like the Pendleton Hunter or the Linda Super Sharp, so thereby it sort of runs on the surface of the animal's meat, and the skin rides up on here. That's the whole purpose of it, so you don't dig into the meat. It's a lot more efficient. Excellent for butchering, for shepherds and that kind of thing, so you'll be able to go through and butcher a lot faster. So that is exactly why we've got the point here. We've also got a decent point here instead of more of a curve for a skinner. So this is where the name originates from, the Skoner. So it's a skinning and boning blade. So I've just explained this curve. So the point here is pointy for boning, and there's enough belly in here for skinning. So those are the 2 points. The curve here for skinning, the point here for boning. That is the Skoner. Okay, so the length of the blade is 86 millimeters long from tip to here, and it's a little bit longer from the curve here though. And we have extended the edge here as close as we can to the handle, but not interfering with resharpening, so you can still resharpen to the edge here. The handle isn't interfering with that, so it is directly above it. So that explains that. With the Benchmade ones, they have theirs more further out. So this is a crossbar locking system. This is the same as the Benchmade has, but the patent is fallen over, so anybody can use it. And it has these 2 springs in here, and we have got replacements if you ever need them on the website. The pivot has got a brass washer on either side. We found that with the ball bearing ones, if you're using them like that with a bit of pressure, they can pop out the ball bearings, and then you have to replace them. It's not as smooth as a ball bearing, but it is more durable, and it will keep cleaner as well, because ball bearings obviously can get dirt in them. Right, so the liners, they're all stainless steel, and they are skeletonized, which means they've been drilled through here to reduce the weight. Now the scales are G10, so this is not just molded handle. These are grippy G10 surfaces that have been CNC milled. Now that leads to the screws. So the screws that hold the handle on are all T8, as well as the pivot point is all T8, and the plunge screws that hold the clip on to the handle are all T8. So you don't need 2 or 3 different heads to have to unscrew it. It's all the same, and we've increased the size of the screws so there's less chance of getting them cross-threaded. There's less chance of them getting lost when you remove them if you're disassembling them and reassembling. So that is the reason for that. We've got 2 screws in here to help reinforce the heel. So when you're punching off the skin, you've got plenty of screws in there to hold the handle down. And it is nice and rounded, so you can hold like this and like that. And we have got a not a deep pocket kelly, but we shifted it down here. So this is a nice and attractive looking clip here, and it's got plenty of spring in it, heaps of spring in it actually. Not good for the fingernails to do that. And with the plunge screws, they're all level, so there's nothing sticking out in your hand. It's all nice and comfortable. So it's taken a lot of time for us to develop it. The steel in the blade is Oz 10, so we went for that because it's reasonably tough. So we noticed with our D2 steel ones we were getting in, we got some in from China, we got some in from EU, and they would snap at the point. Now we've done a penetrating test in pine, where you can do this and the point won't snap. Yes, some of those D2 ones are quite brittle, and even performing that sort of a task can result in a damaged point. So the Oz 10 offers a good balance of toughness, as well as it is a fine, high quality steel with a good edge retention, and it is not excessively costly. So the knife we are offering on our website is at $140-ish currently, and there's really good value for this type of a mechanism and the knife and all the design and the rest of it, we believe. There's nothing better value. So in the edge resistant tests we'd done, it actually had outperformed D2, which is really surprising, because D2 is usually very respectable edge retention type of steel. And in other tests we've got on the website there, we've got an Excel sheet result, and it compares all the different steels there, and this one is actually up near the Oz 10, and also the same as on the Pioneer steel, which has got a lot more elements in it. So it's as good for edge retention as all those. In the real world you really can't tell the difference. Compared to Mercator, you'd be skilling, you would skin and bone out easily 2 times more with one of these knives than you would with the Mercator, and have to resharpen. So that's the advantage of it. It's a good thick width too, so it's 26 millimeters from spine to here, so you've got years and years of use. So the whole thing, I looked at it from a user perspective and what I'd like to have in a knife, and I believe this is the best result I could have come up with. I really love the shape of it and the clip and everything. Aesthetically it's good. The other thing about it is with the crossbar lock is that they always have a center blade, and one of my pet things is that you don't end up with a center blade when you've got one of those liner locks. When they've got a liner lock is when a portion of the liner is sprung this way, and that locks against the end of the knife here when it's open. The only thing is when it's closed, you've still got that pressure against the knife, and what it does is it pushes the blade off to the one side. So that's the reason why another reason why we went for the crossbar, but also because it's the safest. And there's no way you can disengage it. We looked at some of the other locks, and when you're gripping it and changing grips and all that sort of thing, you can accidentally disengage it. Like like if you're using the back locking and that, if you're squeezing it, you can disengage it. And there's a couple of other versions that have come out too, which you'll get the same result. So the crossbar is the safest locking system you can have, really. It still is. Good stuff.